Hey everybody, Alex here with Momentum Charting. As promised, I am back today with a afternoon update on the Qs, broad markets. Let's see how this correction is going. But before we do that, jump down below, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing regular updates on a daily basis over the next few days until we get a conclusion of some sorts where we are satisfied that this correction's over. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Thank you for doing both of those. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the video. Guys, let's quickly dive in here to the chart. Not going to take up too much time today on this because a lot of the evidence that we are seeing today is very, very similar in nature to what we were seeing yesterday. And guys, what I left, my primary, most important point yesterday was that I believed, indeed, I thought this correction was not going to be a simple cut and dry correction, just pushing to the downside, continuing to the downside, dropping, the bottom falling out. I said in yesterday's video I thought this was going to be a more complicated correction that potentially took more time than most people were anticipating, and boy did that ever ring true today. Guys, just price action absolutely all over the place on the Qs. Had this dip in the morning session, then pulled all the way back up to almost the levels of yesterday's session, almost matching the highs of yesterday's session, not quite, coming all the way back up to 365, only to drop again and then pull all the way up today. But guys, I believe we do have in place here now. I'm on a shorter term time frame here inside of TradingView, and I believe I have a very solid trend line now in place where we can watch to see if this breaks to the upside. I think there is a very good chance that the correction is going to be over. We start getting some structure over above the top of this trend line. I believe that that is going to be a signal in the very short term that this correction is over and we are going to start heading back to the upside again in earnest. But guys, if we cannot break to the upside and we keep getting rejections off of this trend line here on a 3-minute time frame, I believe that is going to lead us to a steeper correction, possibly a similar in nature to what we had here. We get another low and pop back up to this trend line. In fact, just out of interest, I'm just seeing this now, but I'm thinking this is possibly going to happen like this. I'm pretty confident right now just watching the impact this trend line's had on this very dynamic trend over the last couple of days. I just want to clone this and see if we can get anything interesting here, see if that matches up in any way. Nah, I don't know. I'm not too in love with that, but I'll leave it there just in case we get another drop in this trend. That might be a spot to watch. I'm not in love with that because it doesn't seem to match up very well with anything maybe here, but I don't just kind of want to leave this point and this point hanging like that, so I'll just leave this here for now, see if that comes into effect later, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, something like that. But so I've got this nice trend line in place here, which I believe has a high degree of significance. In addition, there's still, guys, on the VIX, there has yet been no resolution to this trend on the VIX. This RSI is still in a position where we can come down here and in tomorrow's session and just start pushing higher, or on the overnight, something like that. So this area here, working off the areas of 57 on a 1-hour chart, this is a very dangerous zone for markets and a good zone for operation of VIX. If this thing pushes up again to the upside on the VIX on a 1-hour time frame, which looks to be like a very strong possibility to me, that's going to lead to another breakdown in the markets, okay, in the short term. Also, this is the trend line we set yesterday on the VIX on a 15-minute time frame. There has still been no resolution to this yet, just choppy, wild madness here today. Basically, just going up and down all day today, and this again was the trend line that I'm watching to break to the outside to to give us the signal that the market is ready to push back to the upside again. And I believe that's going to coincide with this trend line breaking back to the upside. That's why I don't quite think we're going to do it tomorrow. I don't quite think we're ready to do it Monday necessarily even. I think it's going to be a couple more days here until this resolves on this VIX trend here. Even if we just do drop tomorrow, I think there's going to be coming something where we maybe back test that and then find our way out of that 15-minute trend line. But I'm not seeing this breaking down in the next couple of days. It just doesn't have that feel, doesn't have that look to me, along with this RSI trend on the VIX, where there is still no resolution to this, and it can easily, right now, the way the configuration is on the RSI of this VIX, start pushing back to the upside, leading to further downside in the markets. I did want to lastly show this, which I thought was kind of interesting. I'm on the chart of the S&P 500, the overnights, and I just found this kind of interesting here, that this period right now looks to be very, very similar in nature to what we had here on July 20th, early in the morning, where we just got this break back to the upside and continued off in earnest. And that's kind of the rumblings of what I'm hearing from a lot of technical analysts right now. But guys, I'm not so sure that this trend right here, this RSI, is necessarily ready to resolve back to the upside right now. I'm still looking strongly at the possibility that this RSI is going to dump here, and we are going to start pushing to the downside. And the reason I'm saying that is because the VIX looks very, very different to how it did here on July 20th. You go back here to the period of July 20th on the VIX, you can see we were in no man's land here, right, on the 19th and 20th, at a very, very high precipice on the VIX where it could come down easily. This isn't such an easy thing to break right here. We've got this series of positive divergence here. We've got a trend line set, which is very, very different from what we were looking at here, where we were in no man's land and just kind of out in space here with no trend line in place or anything like that, okay? And same thing on the, let's see, July 20th. Yeah, same thing here on the VIX, guys. So this is the period of July 20th here. You could see there was no real structure in place directly underneath, unlike here where we've been just kind of working up nicely on the VIX, you know, in shorter increments. Here we had this big pop up. We were in no man's land, and that was kind of the time period here where prices just started pushing back above this confluence of moving averages and started pushing up back to the upside in earnest. So guys, we're going to be watching all this stuff very, very, very carefully. Be interesting to watch this on the overnights. If we can start pushing on this RSI to the upside, similar to what we had happen here on July 20th, early in the morning, or instead, if this thing rolls to the downside, dumps, and in the morning we start pushing higher again on the VIX, and just get you know, this trend line that I've got here set here on the Qs on a 3-minute, get this rejection formation and start pushing lower to the upside. But one thing's for certain, guys, still watching everything here very closely. I've got two main things I'm watching now. One is this trend line on the Qs, and the other one is this trend line on the VIX. Guys, I will see you tomorrow with the next update on the Qs. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do not forget to subscribe to the channel down below. Thanks for watching. See you again tomorrow in the next update. Bye for now.